data. So moving on to our analytics page. So we've got reporting, monitoring, and our analytics. So think of reporting like past, monitoring might be more like present, even though you can pull data from the past. And analytics is future, not predicting the future, but definitely spotting trends, which we'll get into. So starting with reporting past. So what happened on my system yesterday, as an example, or for a specific period of time. In this case, it was from September to a couple of days ago. So all of my inbound and my outbound calls, I can scroll down and see during certain times of days. When am I receiving the bulk of those calls? So maybe this can help me decide when to staff up. So between 9 and 12 looks like we're very, very busy, versus after 7 o'clock we're barely getting any calls. So maybe we don't need as many people on staff at that time. If you are a national organization, you can have a little heat map here to see where the bulk of your calls are coming from. In this case, it might be California. And so again, you can staff up accordingly based on the time zone. I could pull this information by location, group, particular users. Let's log back in. Okay, logged back in. So again, you can pull by location, groups of people, users, or even do custom reporting here. So as an example, let's say you're running a marketing event and you want to run a report based on a particular phone number that was advertised out there. So you want to get like all the phone numbers that you put out there for a specific period of time. And you need to see, based on a specific period of time, how your calls went. So this is just an example of having all of your phone numbers aggregated in a specific period of time to check out your call volume. So again, you can see total number of calls that you took, how many were inbound versus outbound, if for some reason you advertised a toll-free number or started an international campaign, and how much volume did you take on that. Very useful tool just to basically use this information with more than just a simple call log, like how many people called yesterday. Okay. Monitoring, again, more geared towards present, so things like wall boards or gamification. If you're trying to have contests, things like that, you want to pit a couple of reps against each other. We have that here at Nextiva. So for sales, it might be the most amount of calls that you're making or total amount of talk time. If it's support, it might be the most amount of inbound calls that you're taking and handling. So it's totally up to you how you guys want to do this, but all this stuff is definitely customizable. And so you can add or subtract users in here. You can decide what metrics you want. So if for some reason inbound talk time doesn't matter to you guys, you can simply just exit off and it'll come on here. Gamification naturally is something where you can make it look a little more fancy. This one obviously isn't, but you can simply just change that to different styles that you want here, different backgrounds. Like there's one that has a city view, okay? And of course you can also pit agents against each other here in a scorecard view. And then moving on to analytics. So analytics, when I said future, this is more about spotting trends. And so you can pull a specific period of time. So again, going back to that advertising example, let's say you ran an advertisement last month. And so you pull calls from last month to now. In this case, if we run a trend analysis, you might see that, hey, my total inbound calls have gone up and my outbound calls are doing well because we had a great training on that advertisement. Point is that you're able to understand how your business is being affected based on certain actions, and you're also able to pivot based on certain issues. So that, let's say for some reason you have a comparison where, let's say, in one month your calls were high, and then in the following month, all of a sudden things started dropping off, you're going to be able to look at this and then sort of try to figure out what's happening, not only with our company, but with our people, and then take actions accordingly. So analytics goes way beyond just simply reporting how many calls were missed. We try to at least help you understand that data and pivot based on that data that comes in.